Hello and welcome to the Central Television. I am Likon Onobanjo. The top stories at this hour. People's Democratic Party reinstates Wike's ally Samuel Anyanwu as its national secretary. Police confirm attack on security operatives in Ahoada East local government area days after brutal assault on council's administrator. South African court holds a burial of Zambian ex-president Edgar Lungu. Details to come your way shortly. We begin with politics. The main opposition People's Democratic Party has reinstated Samuel Anyanwu as its national secretary. Acting national chairman of the party, Umar Damagum, announced this at a press briefing which was held at the PDP headquarters in Abuja on Wednesday. Damagum, flanked by Plateau State Governor Bala Mohammed, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, and other stakeholders said the decision to accept Anyanwu into the National Working Committee was difficult. He also said the planned NEC meeting had been cancelled. The development comes after PDP leaders held a meeting with Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, on Tuesday. To discuss this, we're joined by a convener, PDP Youth Alliance for Good Governance, David Godwin. David, thank you so much for joining us on the news.
Thank you, Lekon, and good evening. Also, good evening, Nigerians.
All right. So, with Anyanwu being reinstated as the National Secretary of the PDP, this seems to be yet another win for the FCT Minister, isn't it?
You rightfully said it seems to be another win for the FCT Minister. Talking about the former governor of Reinstates, His Excellency Chief Nyesom Wike. But then again, but going through the news headlines today, I kind of like the headlines, and it's almost all the papers and all the news outlets are like, okay, Wike's ally, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, reinstated as National Secretary. And then that tells you everything you need to know about the whole National Secretary tussle and all that. Because I want to believe that the entire Nigerians, except those that deliberately want to be mischievous, know the position of Wike and knows and understand that anybody who is an ally of Chief by Science of Wike is actually more or less an APC person. You know, so these persons are probably in bed with the ruling or progressive party. So the headlines basically tells everything you need to know about this whole secretaryship puzzle and all of that. I mean, it's just unfortunate that the largest opposition party in Nigeria, as it stands, as we speak, is almost turning itself into a support group of Tinubu, so to speak.
Well, a lot of them would probably rely on the Supreme Court's judgment. But then would you say that that judgment that actually recognized Anyanwu as the party's national secretary is right, or the Supreme Justice actually erred in that?
Oh, well, there's a popular saying that the Supreme Court is the final arbiter and that they are infallible. And I want to say that the judgment of the Supreme Court did not actually lay to rest the issue and the quagmire surrounding the national secretaryship. If anything, it left a lacuna there. Because what was the Supreme Court judgment on this case? It says that the courts have no rights to dictate to the party on how to run their party affairs. So which means it has, returned back this same issue to the People's Democratic Party. And then the People's Democratic Party, the NWC, sat down and in the majority said, look, I haven't gotten this judgment from the Supreme Court, the apex court of the land. It says that only the party can decide who, how to run its affairs and all that. And laying everything on the table, in some of the events that, led to the expulsion or the ousting of Senator Anyanwu from the office as National Secretary, and then the Southeast Caucus, where he belongs to, We said, look, we don't want you anymore because you've vacated that office to go and vie for the governorship election in Imo State. So we are bringing in someone else to fill in that capacity. And then the party considered all those things and then looked at, okay, fine, I think Anyanwu has to go. And then as the party who has the ultimate decision to decide who is national secretary, he says, look, you are no longer the national secretary. So person is the new national secretary, which was the person of
Sunday. Yeah,
and so for me, if any hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so for me, I think the judgment of the Supreme Court wasn't really clear. It was ambiguous, and then it left a lacuna there. And so, as far as I'm concerned, I think the crisis still festers on because the party has decided, there are documents to that look, Anyanwu cannot be our national secretary. Anyanwu is not our national secretary. And when he left that office to go and contest for the governorship elections in Imo State, he has ceased to be the national secretary of the PDP. And then the Southeast Caucus, the bloc where he comes from, decided that, look, we are going to nominate somebody else to fill in that position. So this is everything that happened. So the Supreme Court did not really actually settle this issue. It only asked the party to go back to the drawing board and sort out itself that the Supreme Court, the courts generally cannot decide how political parties run their affairs.
So I'm actually glad that you understand the controversy that led to this, or the situations that led to this controversy, whichever way we choose to put it. But then, it's quite interesting that the PDP leadership, which actually included, Damagum, Governor Bala, Bukola Saraki, and others, were the ones who now came out to announce Anyanwu. But then they said that having to make this decision was difficult. So does this sound as though to you that they were forced to reinstall Anyanwu?
Well, I don't want to use the word. I don't want to use the word force because it's going to. I don't know. The word force is not what I want to use. But for me, I think what plays out is just trying to yield to the oversized ego of some persons in the party.
Which persons?
We are a party that is governed by rules and regulations. But we know those that feel. We know those that feel that they own the party, or they feel that the party owns them a favor to a very large extent, and think that they can dictate everything that happens in the party. I want us to start calling them. Nigerians know these things. So for me, I think that is what played out. Because if you are trying to tell me that they said it was a difficult decision, I do not see how having to choose between the decision enshrined in the constitution of the party, and then I want to make some other situations or some other decisions to massage the oversized ego of some persons a difficult situation. No, I don't think it's a difficult thing. They should just come out and tell us that, look, we had to just make the decision to massage people's ego. Because as far as I'm concerned, as far as the People's Democratic Party is concerned, Samuel Anyanwu ceased to be the national secretary of the party since the day he went forth to contest for the elections in Imo State. If we are to allow these things to fester, it means that you cannot be a judge in your own. It means you have to be a judge in your own case. What this is telling you, the end game is that the next NWC, you will find a situation where the national chairman, the national secretary, up until the list cadre in the NWC will vacate their seats, go and run for elections, and when they lose out, they will come back to fill that same position again because it's not different anymore. If we want to go by this. So that's exactly what is saying. That's exactly what is playing out here. So for me, I fought that statement that is a difficult decision to make. No, it is not.
Oh, well, it seems as though it has festered anyway, because of course nobody seems to be able to actually negate or stand up to it. But now, the national secretary position is a critical and highly influential role within a party structure. So does Anyanwu's reemergence now, someone believed to be loyal to Wike, favor, strengthen, or probably weaken PDP's chances in 2027 elections?
You see, thank you for this question. The more you bring in Wike into this conversation, the more you expose the conspiracy behind this whole.
I'm not exposing anything. I'm just putting the facts on the table.
No. I'm not. I am not pinning anything down on you. Please, it's on record. I'm not pinning anything down on you. Literally, what I'm trying to say is, the more Nigerians look at it like, oh, brings up Wike's in this conversation, because rightfully, yeah, is Anyanwu's godfather, so to speak. And we all know the position of Chief Wike. Everybody knows it is audible to the blind and visible to the deaf. Audible to the deaf and visible to the blind. We all know his position. Wike is 90% a Tinubu person. And then if you are saying such person should still hold on to the secretaryship of the PDP, I mean, why are we deceiving ourselves? Why? Why are we deceiving ourselves? So we are also talking about a situation where the so-called Anyanwu went to National Secretariat of the party in Wadata Plaza to resume office. And then all the staff in the party vacated the office for him and said, look, you seem to be our national secretary. The Martin insists that he is going to be the national secretary. Are you trying to lord or force yourself over an empty building? Over people that only say, look, you are no longer our national secretary. So these things are crystal clear. We don't have to bamboozle ourselves or try to make issues out of molehills. No.
So with this now, David, with this,
Anyanwu cannot distance himself. Anyanwu cannot distance himself from Chief Wike.
All right. So now, David, I'm saying with this, David, what is the future?
What is the affairs of the PDP?
What is the future of the party in the 2027 elections with this playing out?
I'm afraid with Wike running the affairs of the party, and for someone that has made his plans known before heaven and earth, before everybody in Nigeria that look, he is going to support Bola Tinubu in 2027. Do you need Nigerians don't need a prophet to tell them what's going to be the outcome? We don't need to resurrect TB Joshua to come and tell us the outcome, what's going to be the outcome of the party in 2027. It simply means that as it stands, the People's Democratic Party is now a support group to support Bola Tinubu's election bid in 2027. We need any soothsayer to tell us this. It's not clear.
All right. Thank you so much, David Godwin, for sharing your thoughts with us on the news. Appreciate that. Well, in the meantime, the ranks of the ruling All Progressives Congress in the Senate have grown with the defection of Senator Nyesom Wike, representing Edo South from the Labour Party. Senator Wike's resignation from the Labour Party was formally conveyed in a letter read by Senate President Edgar during plenary. In the letter, the Edo South lawmaker cited unresolved internal crisis within the Labour Party as the reason for its defection, pledging commitments to the APC's progressive ideology and national development goals. Let's now go on a short break, and when we return, we'll tell you about security operatives being killed in Ahoada East local government area of Rivers State amid rising tensions. We'll bring you the details in a bit. Stay with us. Many thanks for being there. We talk security now. Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani has visited Ungwan Dansoho in Kudan local government area of the state to commiserate with families of 13 residents killed by a mob in Mangu local government area of Plateau State while allegedly en route to a wedding ceremony. The victims, according to the reports, were traveling to attend the wedding of a relative in Kwampan local government area of Plateau State when they reportedly lost their way and stopped in Mangu village for directions. The governor condemned the attack and pledged to ensure justice for the victims. Governor Sani also visited the 44th Nigerian Army Reference Hospital in Kaduna to meet with survivors of the attack and called on Nigerian leaders to protect the constitutional rights of citizens, particularly the right to move freely across the country.
Because the Constitution of Nigeria have given everyone freedom to move everywhere he wants to go without any hindrance. Unfortunately, our people traveled to Jos and they met their deaths. But all I can say here is that we will continue to keep our people in peace. We are going to build a hospital for them. because they are a very peaceful community in Kaduna. We are going to construct a brand new road from here to Basawa, that is up to another local government, that is Sabangari local government. As we are speaking, 22 people have already been arrested, and we are pushing to ensure that more people are arrested so that we also fight for justice. Because without justice, this incident will continue to happen.
Let's also tell you that the House of Representatives ad hoc committee mandated to convene a special security conference on the security challenges in Plateau State and beyond, and has pledged its commitment to finding lasting solutions to the ongoing insecurity crisis in the state. The chairman of the committee, Ahmed Waid, gave the assurance in Abuja during the committee's inauguration, saying that the committee will engage with stakeholders, including community leaders and security experts, to bring an end to the crisis, which had spanned several years.
We must remember that naturally the eyes of the people will be on this committee and its membership. This task is not about politics, it's about the people, it's about communities, about peace, and about betterment in the general lives of our people in Nigeria in general.
We're still talking security. Worried by worsening security lapses in the country, a Methodist bishop, Sunday Ndukwo Onoha, has advised the federal government to seek external help to end all forms of insecurity bedeviling the country. The nation has recently been grappling with herdsmen attacks, banditry and kidnapping in some parts of Benue, Plateau, Edo, Kaduna, Borno states, including other states, leading to mass killings across the country, with the latest attack in Benue State claiming over 100 lives in the Yelwata community of the state. Reacting to the senseless killings in a statement on Monday, Bishop Onoha lamented that time is running out to contain the activities of these enemies of Nigeria. Joining us to discuss this is our security analyst and the executive director, Elixir Trust Foundation, Emmanuel Ikule. Emmanuel, it's always nice to have you join us to discuss security matters on the news.
Thank you once again for the opportunity.
So I don't know if that call means contracting mercenaries, but then would it be wise to do that, having to seek external help to fight insurgency?
External help, for me, it's not something that is bad. For a country like ours that is struggling to address issues of insecurity, coupled with the fact that the military and the police have also been infiltrated by bad acts, then it's advisable we seek help in order to address these concerns. If we look at this legally, I think Section 130 permits for cooperation with, for international cooperation in addressing issues that are around insurgency, issues around terrorism. Even Section 19 also gives room for collaboration in order to counter terrorism, ensure peace and security. So it's not out of place to actually source for help. Nigeria is also have alliances with several organizations like ECOWAS. We also have a cooperation or collaboration with US, UK, among others, for training, intelligence gathering, and other things. What is bad about using same alliance to get their support, be it better tech, be it enhanced cooperation that will help us address these concerns once and for all, because it will also give more rise to, boost international cooperation over time. So it's not out of place. It's actually a need, and we need to do that urgently.
You said that
our service chief, our security agencies have not been able to address this concern, so we need help.
Okay, so earlier you said that the Nigerian military has been infiltrated. What fuels that notion?
If you look at the comments of the service chief, commander-in-chief of the armed forces recently, when he visited Benue in respect to the killings in Yelewata, he actually said a lot of persons have been sharing intel. Internally, people within the service, within the structure, have been sharing this information with terrorists. He said it. It's in his comments. He didn't doubt it. So if we're hearing that directly from him, then it means it's something that we, over time, we have noticed. If we check most of the kidnappers that have been arrested, the gangs of kidnapping in different locations, you discover that at one or two different times, either the police have been part of the gang. So it's right to actually say that they have been infiltrated. And there have been reports of different times that even the so-called repentant Boko Haram have been recruited into the army at different times. So if that is actually true, then it's not surprising the type of caliber of persons we have currently. That is why we're unable to win this war against insurgency in the country.
Well, it's also quite interesting that between 2015 and 2025, combined funding for the Nigerian army between the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, and the current president, Bola Tinubu, is estimated at about between 14 and 18 trillion naira cumulatively. So one will also ask the question, how come the military lacks sophisticated weapon and technology to end terrorism?
The first one is political will. The second one is appointment of persons based on friendship. When you are, I know that every sector have people that are specialists in them. And if you gather the top persons and ask them to even choose or nominate one of them, it may be possible we get the right person. But in Nigeria, just for the fact of being president, you appoint people generally. And whether they have the competence or not, because you have appointed them, they become leaders. These have actually been one of the failures of these different systems in the country. You're also looking at the situation where these budgetary allocations for defense, whenever it's been submitted, no deductions are made, and like that, automatically it's been approved. But at the same time, there's no audit on these funds given to security agencies. And as long as you cannot audit, or you have not been able to audit these persons, there will always be cases of embezzlement, corruption, and all that. So in order to, especially seeing that they have not been able to address these concerns, and which has been the reasons why they have been given such a fat allocation, there's need for them to be audited. This will give rise to, for us to understand where these funds are going, what they are being used to. Just last year and previous 2023, we had up to 200 or more persons being killed because of the lack of capacity of the military to handle drones, common drones. Instead, I think in one case in Kaduna, about 100 persons were being killed. So it shows lack of capacity in handling, and despite the alliances they had with people with competence in handling military or defense equipment. So you are looking at what is the quality of the collaboration over time, and then what is the assurances that the money is given are being even used for the right equipment. Up to 5,000 military personnel have resigned between 2020 to 2025. Many of them have also complained of the quality of equipment being given to them to use. So there's a lot to be done. If an audit can be done, it will show why such funds are not used for the proper thing it was actually budgeted for, and why certain persons should be penalized. And also a call that the National Assembly should make a law where in a situation like that, such persons or criminal elements should be prosecuted, maybe with life imprisonment. That will help caution or mitigate at least the level of corruption inherently embedded in security agencies in the country.
Okay, so now a lot of deficiencies you have actually highlighted as the bane of the inability of the Nigerian military to deal with insurgency, including the kinetic and non-kinetic approach. Now, looking at the solutions, how sure are we that seeking external help would be a probable solution to ending this? That it won't be sabotaged too like others that we've heard?
A country like ours have always paid attention to the public image. So when killings happened in Yeliwata and more than 200 persons died, the president didn't even give a press release. After a couple of days, he said whatever he said through whatever press release he gave. There was no empathy, no sympathy, no nothing, and he was not even willing to come to the States. That is the president of our country. We are looking at political will there, the gap in political will, until the Pope actually spoke about that, and until VDM spoke about that to give visibility to the happenings. That was when he decided, as claimed, decided to forgo out of his busy schedule. More than 200 citizens have died. Even you are looking at Israel and the rest at war. Not up to that numbers have died. But you are actually too busy to go there. So it shows the level, the level of him not even being interested. So that the first issue will be the political will. If he actually wants it, then the service chief will actually do what he wants. But if he has not shown the will, the service chief will also watch the body language and follow suit. That has always been the case. And if you look at during the last election before President Buhari came on board, when Jonathan was on seat, he worked with foreign mercenaries, and that helped or enabled the election to be done all over the country, including Northeast. Because if you bring foreign persons, they won't be looking, oh, this person is my tribe, this person is from my region. No.
Neutrality. Okay.
They are coming, they are paid to do an assignment, and they will go in details in addressing it.
Okay.
Unlike the situation we find ourselves where certain persons are like, don't kill my people. You are not allowed. You can only try to arrest. All those sentiments have actually failed Nigeria or Nigerians.
Okay.
And children and women are suffering, and Nigerians are suffering from these issues and these gaps.
Emmanuel Ekule, it's always nice having to hear you discuss this on the news. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you for the wonderful work you have been doing. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too. Now we go on a very short break, and when we return, we'll look at the political crisis in Rivers State. Don't go away. Now we tell you that tensions continue to rise in Rivers State as the police command confirms a deadly attack on security operatives in Ahoada East local government area just days after the brutal assault on the council's administrator. In a statement issued by the police public relations officer Grace Iringekoko, armed attackers led by two men identified as Umidbewe Kingsley, also known as Gutam, and Wan Okpaka, both believed to be leaders of a cult group, stormed a local security office near the Ahoada East Council Secretariat and opened fire. During the attack, one security operative, Ngozi Ikpa, was fatally shot. A police officer, Corporal Francis Friday, attached to the Special Intervention Squad and on special duty at the Secretariat, was also killed. In the meantime, the people of Ahoada in Rivers State are demanding justice following the brutal assault of their local government council administrator, Goodluck Iheanacho. Iheanacho was physically attacked by and forced to resign by suspected hoodlums, an incident the community describes as a serious threat to local governance and security. News Central's Biola Festus has more in this report.
On 20 June, images of a purported resignation letter from Ahoada East LGA administrator, Goodluck Iheanacho, began circulating online. But in a swift response, Iheanacho went on radio to deny the claim. Just 2 days later, disturbing footage emerged showing him being beaten with a machete and canes by suspected thugs. In the video, the attackers handed him a typed resignation letter on official council letterhead and coerced him to sign it.
If he was doing well, if he was performing, do you think these security agencies will be there? And such person was drilled for 1 hour inside the council. None of the agencies responded on time. Ask yourself, where is that problem from? Most persons were not credited in the AG. That's what formed that anger. I want to let you people know They should stop mentioning the name of Hector, aka the CSO. We all know the voluntary effort Hector has done in Ahoada East for a peace to reign. Nobody should drag him into unnecessary rubbish.
The Rivers State Police Command has since confirmed the incident, stating that a gang of about 30 hoodlums, led by the Chief Security Officer and the Chief of Staff to the LGA Administrator, stormed the Council Secretariat and unleashed violence. Iheanacho's kinsmen are now calling on the police to act swiftly and ensure the perpetrators face justice.
Having watched the viral video posted online concerning the incident about the sole administrator, I condemn that act. Even a common criminal cannot be treated in that manner. Not at all. Let alone of a number one citizen of the LGA. It's an insult to the seat of power of Ahoada East. It's an insult to the people of Igbako Kingdom. And thereby we demand that the security agencies and the Rivers State government to fish out the perpetrators and their sponsors and brought them to a book. Iheanacho, good luck. Like they claim that he embezzled council fund. I ask again, those who beat the man, are they council auditor? Are they EFCC? Are they RCPC? If they have evidence on how the man embezzled fund from the council, why can't they register their grievances to the government agencies?
The people fear that beyond political rivalry, the incident signals a potential breakdown of law and order in the area if not addressed quickly and decisively.
The local government council secretariat is the government house of the local government area. And so that ordinarily is supposed to be a place of safety for anyone that is threatened by any form of security challenges. So, but a situation where even the number one citizen of the LGA now is not safe right there in that government house, what it therefore means is that nobody around here is safe. And so that's why it's important that we must check this tide, because if this situation is not arrested now, it can again trigger another wave of security threats.
If they don't take time, both the Hubogo in question and Nyesom in question, the will be in hard break, because if they will not allow Hubogo and Nyesom to pass through the menu because of this. And if they don't take time, we women in particular will act for it first before the men.
While many residents have been reluctant to speak publicly, reactions on social media have been vocal. Some posts accused Iheanacho of embezzlement and breaching a gentleman's agreement. However, his kinsmen maintain that the attack was politically motivated, calling it a targeted witch hunt by opposition elements.
I feel that there are some politicians are behind this, because they may tell him to share money as the politicians they used to do. Maybe he refused to share the money because I know that he will not accept those rubbish that they are doing. That is why they plot him. Those politicians behind Eto, Ekakita, government should fetch them out.
Earlier, all elected local government officials in Rivers State's 23 LGAs were dissolved. In their place, administrators were appointed by the state's sole administrator, Ibokete Ibas. But questions surrounding the legality of these appointments have sparked debate, and now concerns are mounting that such violent resistance may become a recurring trend in Rivers State's tense political atmosphere. In Rivers, for News Central, Biola Festus.
And now in a move to boost infrastructure and ease movement across rural communities, Edo State Governor Monday Okpowolo has flagged off a major 14-kilometer road construction project connecting 10 communities in EC North, Edo State. The Central's correspondent, Israel Eferobo, was at the flag-off ceremony in Ogoholo and tells us more.
Thank you, I say on electronics the best. The flag-off ceremony was attended by the governor of Plateau State in the company of other government functionaries, including the secretary to the government of Plateau State, Barrister Musa Ikilo. Residents are calling it a long-awaited breakthrough.
Today, we have come to remove the tears from your eyes. You can see the kind of contractor we brought here. That is capacity. So tell me, if I scratch your back, will you not scratch my back? It's the community. Are you people happy? You remember last time I came here? I came here to campaign. I told you people, vote for me. Don't vote for your son that didn't remember you. It's about 7 months into our government now. We are here to flag off the road.
The Commissioner for Finance gave insight on how this flag-off is in line with the agenda of Governor Okpebholo.
As we speak, over the past 7 months, he has created and built over 173-kilometer stretch of roads. Today is adding on that 14 and linking 8 communities in the whole local government.
Mr. Governor, you may not know what you have done. You have arrested with this singular intervention the rural-urban drift in my community.
You can see that this community is an agrarian community, predominantly, and it's going to facilitate the movement of farm produce.
Residents who for years endured hardship due to poor roads expressed their appreciation.
This thing have never happened in my community. It's very unusual. It will bring speedy development.
And they do farm. Anything what they do, we know they see where we go to sell land. As the people will come open road for us now. Anything what they do for you, go to see and better. You go to dear. God, what they do, you go to dear. I'm very, very happy.
Since the council left, nothing like this has ever come. Now that it's here, we are so happy that a development has come.
This type of road was graded during my primary school. Since then, this road was neglected. Unfortunately, the past governor, he came from this environment. Unluckily, he did not even thought of helping us. But this governor came on board. It's an Ishama, it's not even a Binima. May God bless him.
The Okpebholo administration says the road project is a model for future rural infrastructure rollouts. For residents of EC North, this is more than asphalt. It's a lifeline. In Edo State, for News Central, Israel, Ifirobo.
In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated the newly constructed interchange bridges of Arturo Road and 20, popularly known as the Wole Soyinka Way, over Outer Northern Expressway at the resumed project inauguration series organized by the Federal Ministry of the Federal Capital Territory under the leadership of its Minister Nyesom Wike. The President, represented by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, commended the FCT Minister for the achievement.
And I've always said, let anybody challenge the FCT administration that all these roads and projects were commissioned, that any previous administration completed it and we came to take over. Like I see in some states where they are fighting among themselves, where the ones who did it were not the ones who did it. If you know, for the past since 2010 till 2023, there are projects we are commissioning that you say you finish. Please do us a favor by coming out to say this project, we started it, we finished it. I know nobody would say that. Nobody would say that. And let also people that this is not 3D. This is not we will do. This is we have done. So it's not 3D. It's not about showing a computer what it will look like. No.
This interchange is a crucial answer to those challenges designed to alleviate traffic congestion, enhance safety, and significantly improve the daily lives of residents and commuters in the Federal Capital Territory. Our renewed hope agenda is built on the bedrock of robust infrastructure, We understand that a nation's arteries must be strong, clear, and efficient to pump life into its economy and foster societal well-being. This bridge, strategically linking key areas and easing the flow of traffic, will unlock new opportunities for commerce, reduce travel time, and contribute directly to increased productivity and a better quality of life for all who traverse this vital route. It is now my distinct honor and privilege to formally commission the newly constructed interchange bridge of Arterial Road N20 across the Outer Northern Expressway for the benefit of all Nigerians and humanity. Thank you, and may God bless.
Coming up on the news, South African court holds burial of Zambia ex-president Edgar Lungu. We'll tell you more when we are back. Do stay with us. A South African court has halted plans to bury former Zambian President Edgar Lungu at a private ceremony in South Africa. The news came in as mourners were gathered at Christ the King Cathedral in Johannesburg. The Zambian government had filed an urgent case in the Pretoria High Court seeking to stop the burial planned by his family. We have News Central's Bongani Siziba in Johannesburg for more on this, and Bongani will be sharing the latest developments about this story with us.
A very good day to you and our viewers at home, coming to you live from the King Cathedral here in Johannesburg, where a somber funeral service was underway for the former Zambian President Edgar Lungu. As we may know that it was anticipated that the burial was going to take place today, but we had this afternoon breaking news that the plans have changed. The Gauteng High Court in Pretoria has issued an interim order halting the burial. The dispute will be heard as a special motion on the 18th of July, and the final decision on whether the body of the former president will be repatriated to Zambia. We know that the government of Zambia on Tuesday filed an interdict arguing that the Lungu's body should be laid to rest in his home country in Zambia with fitting state funeral, befitting rather his status as a former head of state. However, the family of Edgar Lungu has expressed strong opposition to this, citing grievances with the current government and also the current president, asserting that former president was not treated well by the authorities in Zambia. They also made it clear that they do not want the current president to be involved in his funeral arrangements or to be near his body.
But you may wish to know that at the time of his death, he was a person that was divested of all his rights as a former president. You may wish to know that the government of the Republic of Zambia had taken away all his benefits, including his health insurance, accommodation, security, everything that he was entitled to, they had taken away.
Yes, despite the initial plans and the presence of the mourners here from Zambia, the court's decision means that the burial in Johannesburg will not proceed today. So the court's ruling leaves the final decision on Lungu's remains hanging in the balance, with a hearing scheduled for the 18th of July to determine whether he will be repatriated to his home country for burial. Let's take a listen to what some of the mourners and supporters who are here had to say.
Well, definitely going back, very sad people, but we're hoping the family, the government, and the church can come in and sort out this whole issue which is happening. It's very disturbing.
just taking note how they feel about what the Pretoria High Court said. But I must say I did not see any official from the government of South Africa or representative from other countries. The gathering appears to be primarily composed of members, friends and supporters of the former President Lungu. But away from the disappointment of the day, the good news here is that those who are gathered here will remember the President of Zambia, Lungu, as a man who stood by his people, and they have the fondest memories of him.
My fondest memories of him is his ability to listen to everybody, his ability to pay attention and listen from a person with modest or no education at all. And if you find him in conversation with people of poor background, or ordinary people, ordinary Zambians, you would find him at peace.
And from me, Bongani Sisiba, at the Cathedral Christ the King in Johannesburg, we'll continue to follow this story closely and bring updates and more information, as more information rather becomes available. But for now, it's back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Bongani Sisiba, for that detailed report. And that's about it on the news at this hour. Let's look at our top stories before we go. The People's Democratic Party has reinstated Nyesom Wike's ally, Samuel Anyanwu, as its national secretary. Police have confirmed attack on security operatives in Ahoada East local government area days after brutal assault on council's administrator. We also told you that South African court has halted the burial of Zambia ex-president Edgar Lungu. You can send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on your screen. And don't forget to follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. Also watch us live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, StarTimes 274, Arvo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Likon Onobanjo.